All right, buckle up, everybody, because today
Oh, this is exciting.
we are diving deep into the engineering mind
Yeah.
of none other than Elon Musk.
One of the biggest innovators of our time.
Oh, absolutely. And get this,
Mm-hmm.
we've got our hands on a recent interview
Oh, wow.
and some fascinating articles that reveal a 5-step protocol.
5 steps.
5 steps that he uses at both Tesla and SpaceX.
So this is how he's revolutionizing those industries.
This is how
Let's
he is
see.
achieving those mind-blowing innovations. I mean, sending rockets into space, building electric cars that practically drive themselves.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling when you think about it.
It seems like magic, but
Not magic, though.
it's not magic.
It might seem that way sometimes,
Right.
but these 5 steps are really about approaching problem-solving in a very specific,
Yeah.
very deliberate way.
I love that. Deliberate.
Yeah, and what's fascinating to me
Mhm.
is that even though these steps come straight from, rocket science and electric car design,
Yeah.
the principles behind them
Mm-hmm.
actually apply to pretty much any field.
Oh, that's so interesting.
You might find yourself, by the end of this, rethinking how you tackle challenges in your own life.
Oh, I love a good aha moment.
Me too.
And speaking of aha moments,
Yeah.
the order of these steps
Hmm.
is super important.
Okay, so there's a sequence to this.
There is
It's very
like mix and match.
specific sequence. And we're going to dive into
Oh, okay.
why that is
I'm all ears.
and what happens
Mm-hmm.
when you get the order wrong.
Mm.
Let's just say it might involve some moments that feel like they're straight out of a Dilbert cartoon.
Uh-oh. So getting the steps out of order can lead to, well, let's just call them less than ideal outcomes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's make sure we get this right.
All right, so step 1, drum roll, please.
All right, lay it on me.
Make the requirements less dumb.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful.
What does that even mean?
I have to admit, when I first read that,
I was like, wait, what? What does that even mean? It sounds kind of, well,
dumb.
yeah. I mean, it's a bit provocative, isn't it?
It is.
But actually, it's quite brilliant.
Ugh.
It's all about recognizing that even the most brilliant minds
Mhm.
can fall into the trap
Yeah.
of accepting requirements without questioning them.
Without questioning
Yeah.
whether those requirements...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, do they actually need to be requirements in the first place?
Oh, I see.
So these quote-unquote dumb requirements are often based on these unexamined assumptions,
Right.
and those assumptions can lead to all sorts of unnecessary complexity.
It's like everyone's just blindly following the rules without ever asking, why are we doing this?
Exactly.
That totally reminds me of that story about Henry Ford and the Model T.
Oh yeah, classic example.
Everyone else was making cars with, 200 parts.
Hundreds of parts.
And he thought, nope, there's got to be a simpler way.
Yeah, had to be.
And he ended up making the Model T with only 30 parts. 30. Way simpler.
So much simpler.
So much more efficient.
And we see this same principle at play with SpaceX.
Really.
They basically say,
Okay.
why do rockets have to be single use?
Right. Like, why throw away this incredibly expensive piece of machinery
Yeah.
after just one use?
It had been the accepted dumb requirement.
It's like the space industry just got stuck in a rut
In the aerospace industry for
for decades.
decades, everyone just took it as gospel.
Just accepted it.
But SpaceX challenged that assumption,
What happened?
and bam, the reusable Falcon 9.
Talk about a game changer.
Game changer. Suddenly, space travel is significantly more affordable and accessible.
And it opened up all these new possibilities.
Imagine the ripple effect.
It's incredible.
It's crazy.
It makes you wonder,
Mm-hmm.
are there any dumb requirements lurking in our own lives or work?
Whoa.
Things that we're just accepting as true, even if they don't make sense.
That is a powerful question.
I know, right?
It's making me think about all those times I just blindly accepted a process at work or even in my personal life
Yeah.
without ever stopping to ask, why am I doing this way?
It's so easy to get caught up in the how
Yeah.
without ever questioning the why.
The why is so important.
It is. And that's why this first step
Yeah.
is so crucial.
All right. So we've challenged the assumptions.
Okay.
We've made the requirements less dumb.
Love it.
What's next on Elon's list?
All right. What's step 2?
Step 2 is try and delete part of the process.
Wait, hold on. Delete.
Delete.
But we're trying to build something new.
Right.
Shouldn't we be aiding things?
You would think, right?
It seems counterintuitive.
Right.
But here's where the brilliance comes in.
Okay.
By getting rid of unnecessary parts and processes, you actually streamline everything.
It's like decluttering your house.
Exactly.
It's amazing how much more efficient and focused you can be
Right.
when you're not wading through all that clutter.
It's freeing.
This totally makes me think of Marie Kondo and her whole spark joy thing.
Oh, I love her.
Only keep what truly serves a purpose and brings value.
Keep it simple.
So simple. So where do we see this in action with Elon's companies?
Well, a great example is Tesla's Model 3 production line.
Oh, interesting.
They really took this delete step to heart.
Okay.
They scrutinized every single step in the assembly process
Oh, wow.
and asked, do we really need this?
Okay, so spill the tea. What did they discover? What parts of the process did they end up deleting?
Well, they actually found a ton of redundancies and unnecessary complexities.
Yeah.
By simplifying procedures and eliminating steps that didn't add value, they streamlined the entire assembly line.
So they didn't, completely redesign parts of the car to make it easier to assemble?
Not quite redesigning the car itself,
Okay.
but definitely optimizing the manufacturing process. It's amazing how much waste there can be in a process if you don't take the time to really look at it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, think about it. Every unnecessary step adds time.
Yeah.
And costs.
That's cost, for sure.
So by cutting those out, they could make the Model 3 more affordable and accessible.
Oh, I see, yeah. And they could produce them faster, too, right?
Right. It's all about increasing efficiency.
Efficiency.
And this brings us to a question for you, dear listener.
Ooh, I love these questions.
What processes or steps could you delete in your own work to streamline things?
Oh.
What clutter are you holding on to that might be slowing you down?
That's making me sweat a little. I'm already starting to think about all the pointless meetings I attend, the emails I send.
It's eye-opening, isn't it?
I bet I could free up so much time and energy by deleting some of that stuff.
Exactly. It's all about being intentional with your time and resources.
Love it. So intentional. Okay, so we've challenged the assumptions. We've made the requirements less dumb. We've deleted what we don't need.
We're on a roll.
What's next? What's step 3?
Step 3 is simplify or optimize.
Okay, that one sounds pretty straightforward. I mean, who doesn't want to simplify and optimize things? Isn't that the whole point of, life?
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Right.
But there's a catch.
Oh.
And it's a catch that even brilliant minds like Elon Musk can fall prey to.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
See, it's tempting to jump into optimization right away.
Oh, yeah. Just make it perfect, right?
Right.
But I feel like you're going somewhere with this.
I am. As Elon himself points out, it's a mistake to optimize something that shouldn't even exist in the first place.
Oh, that's good.
Right.
He actually calls it the most common error of a smart engineer.
Isn't that fascinating?
It's like trying to make a gourmet meal out of spoiled ingredients. No matter how much you fancy it up, it's still going to taste awful.
Perfect analogy.
And, it's not just engineers who fall into this trap.
Nope. We've all been there.
We've all been there.
Spending hours trying to perfect something that's fundamentally flawed.
Yes.
Oh, I know that feeling.
It's like that time I spent weeks agonizing over the font choices.
Oh, no.
For a presentation that ended up getting canceled. Talk about a waste of time.
Of course.
And that's why this step emphasizes simplification before optimization.
Right.
Get rid of the unnecessary complexity.
Yes.
Before you try to make things perfect.
It's like laying a strong foundation before you start building the house.
I like that.
And once again, SpaceX provides a fantastic example here with their Falcon rockets.
Okay, so how did they apply this principle to something as complex as a rocket?
Well, they really embrace simplification.
Okay.
They challenge the need for complex systems, asking things like, do we really need this landing gear to be so complicated?
Interesting.
Or can we simplify the fuel system without compromising safety? It's like they were channeling their inner Marie Kondo again. Does this fuel system spark joy?
Haha, love that.
Right.
But seriously, what did they actually end up simplifying?
Well, by simplifying components like the landing gear and fuel systems, they were able to create a lighter, more cost-effective rocket before even starting the optimization process.
So they basically made the rocket less dumb
Exactly.
before they tried to make it perfect. I love it. But I gotta ask.
Yeah?
Didn't Elon himself admit to falling into this trap sometimes?
He did. He even talks about this mental straitjacket that comes from traditional schooling.
Oh, interesting.
We're often conditioned to solve problems without questioning the problems themselves.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's like we're so focused on getting the right answer
Right.
that we forget to ask if we're even asking the right question.
Exactly. We need to break free from that mental straitjacket
Totally.
and embrace the power of simplification.
So it's not about finding the perfect solution.
No.
It's about finding the simplest solution that works. Yes. That is a powerful shift in mindset. And it's making me think about all those areas in my life where I'm overcomplicating things.
You and me both.
Maybe it's time to channel my inner Elon and ask, how can I make this less dumb?
It's a great question to ask. And it leads us perfectly into step 4.
Which is?
Accelerate cycle time.
Okay, now we're talking. This is where things get exciting, right?
Yeah.
It's all about speed.
Yeah.
And efficiency.
Efficiency.
I'm picturing those time-lapse videos of Tesla factories, robots working at warp speed.
It's quite a sight.
It's mesmerizing.
It is.
But hold on.
Hold on.
It's not quite time to hit the gas just yet.
Oh, why not?
There's a crucial caveat to this step.
Okay.
And it's all about the order.
Ah, right. We're still following Elon's precise protocol.
Precise protocol. So what's the catch with accelerating cycle time?
Well, this step only comes after the first 3.
Okay, it's all about the order.
Exactly. Think about it. Rushing without eliminating dumb requirements.
Right.
Deleting parts.
Yep.
And simplifying. Well,
yeah.
It will only lead to a bigger mess. It's like trying to speed up a car that's stuck in the mud.
Oh, yeah.
You'll just spin your wheels and make things worse.
It's like Elon said, if you're digging your grave, don't dig it faster.
Exactly. You've got to lay the groundwork first.
Yeah.
Build a solid foundation.
Yeah.
And then you can start to accelerate.
Okay, that makes sense. So how did Tesla apply this principle, say, with Model 3 production?
Well, once they had optimized and simplified the Model 3 assembly process, then they could accelerate production without sacrificing quality.
Ah, so they weren't just like cranking up the assembly line speed and hoping for the best.
No.
They strategically implemented it at the right time.
Timing is key.
So they basically said, okay, we've made this as lean and efficient as possible. Now, let's floor it.
That's a great way to put it. It's about maximizing efficiency at the right moment.
And this brings up a question for you, dear listener.
Oh, here we go.
Where in your life are you trying to go faster, but maybe haven't done the necessary simplification and optimization?
That's a good question.
First, are you spinning your wheels in the mud, so to speak?
Oof. Makes you think.
Makes me think, too. Okay, so we've made it to the final step in Elon's protocol.
The grand finale.
Drum roll, please.
Hit me.
Step 5.
Automate.
Now we're talking.
Okay, this is where the robots come in, right?
Yeah.
I'm picturing those futuristic factories where everything is automated.
It's like something out of a sci-fi movie.
And the humans just sit back and sip their lattes.
Well, not quite that simple. While automation is incredibly powerful, there's a crucial detail here. It comes right, not first.
Ooh, interesting. So it's not about automating everything right out of the gate?
Right.
There's a strategy involved.
Exactly.
Why is it so important to automate at the end?
Because you don't want to automate a messy, inefficient process.
Oh, right.
That's just asking for trouble. Imagine trying to automate a recipe that has 50 unnecessary steps.
Oh, God.
It would be a disaster.
Oh, yeah. It's like automating a Rube Goldberg machine.
Haha. I love that analogy.
It might be fun to watch.
Right.
But it's not exactly efficient.
Not at all. So automation is about maximizing efficiency.
Okay.
But only after you've already optimized the process. Think of it as the cherry on top of a perfectly baked cake. You wouldn't put the cherry on before the cake is even baked, right?
Okay, I love that analogy. So how does this play out in the real world with Elon's companies? What have they automated and how did they get there?
One of the best examples is Tesla's fully automated battery module assembly line for the Model 3.
Wow.
This level of automation was only possible because they had already done the hard work of simplifying and optimizing the process. They make sure the cake was perfectly baked before adding the cherry.
They didn't just throw a bunch of robots at the problem and hope for the best. They strategically implemented automation at the right time.
That's the key.
After they had already created a streamlined and efficient process.
Well said. And this brings up an interesting question for you, our astute listener. Ooh, another question for our amazing listeners.
Think about tasks you've automated in your own life or work.
Okay.
Did you do the deep work of simplification first? Or did you just automate a messy process?
Ooh, that's making me think. I know I've been guilty of just automating things without really thinking about whether it's the best approach.
It's easy to fall into that trap, for sure.
Like scheduling that recurring email reminder for a task that I could probably just eliminate altogether.
We've all been there. But the key takeaway here is that automation is a powerful tool,
right?
But it's most effective when used strategically.
Strategically. Don't just automate for the sake of automating.
No. Make sure the process is optimized and simplified first.
This is making me want to go back and reevaluate all my automated systems.
That's a good exercise.
Okay, so we've covered all 5 steps.
We did it.
Of Elon Musk's engineering protocol. What's the big takeaway here?
The key is these steps aren't just for building rockets and electric cars.
Right, they're for all of us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're fundamental principles for problem solving and innovation in any field.
I love that.
Whether you're tackling a complex project at work, streamlining your daily routine, or even working on personal goals. These steps can help you approach challenges in a more strategic and effective way.
Yep. Okay, my brain is officially buzzing with ideas. This is why I love these deep dives.
Me too.
We take these seemingly complex concepts and break them down into practical steps that anyone can apply.
Exactly. And what's even more remarkable, these steps are remarkably simple.
Yeah.
Yet they can lead to such groundbreaking results. It's a testament to the power of clear thinking and challenging the status quo.
Absolutely. It's not about working harder.
Nope.
It's about working smarter.
That's it.
And that's something we can all learn from.
Absolutely.
No matter what field we're in.
100%.
What I'm really curious about is how these principles might apply beyond the world of engineering. Interesting.
Could we use them to improve our relationships, our creative process, even our parenting skills? Now, that's a thought-provoking question.
Right.
We'll definitely have to explore that further
in
our next segment.
Stay tuned, everyone, because we are just getting started.